All right. Speaking of unbelievably hard to read relationships like ours with Johnny, even though, man, I promise we were just joking, Johnny. Here's a question. Comes on Reddit. It's from Reddit user Cart Size, and the tagline is "The girl from McDonald's." It goes like this.
Ooh.
Today, I went to McDonald's with my friends, and we ordered something, and we went to our tables. In the position where I was, I had full view of the kitchen area, and I noticed a very cute girl with the ponytail cocking, and it's definitely supposed to say cooking there, but it definitely says cocking. All right. So yeah. I noticed a very cute girl with the ponytail cooking. So I started looking at her a few times during our meal. Every now and then, she looked at me, and sometimes I looked at her. I love that part of this question because he's like, I looked at her, and every now and then she'd look at me, and even sometimes I would look at her.
Okay, can I stop really quick? I have a comment on this. So, me being the person I am, as awkward as I am, I realized that at this point in my life, my version of getting an adrenaline rush in me about flirtatiousness sometimes can just come from prolonged eye contact. And that's a really weird thing to say, just like off the bat. But I was in a lecture class one time, and I would just look around because there's like 200 people in there. And a lot of times I would turn around and I would see this girl, and she would be looking at me, and she would smile.
That's so sweet, man.
It is. It's a very sweet story, but it scared the bejesus out of me.
No, I get it. I get it.
And it's the most irrational thing. There are like 2/3 of people who are probably listening to this being like, I cannot relate in the slightest bit. But believe me, for anybody who struggles in any way with meeting new people, interacting with people they don't know, like the idea, and I'm a pretty like outgoing person, but looking over, seeing a person looking at me and not looking away immediately, seeing them smile at me back is just like, ugh, like just right down the spine of just like, I don't understand what just happened. Yeah. So I get this, but here's the thing. 9 out of 10 times, if not every single time, for any male that just walks into a restaurant and starts staring at a girl behind the line, she's not looking back at you because she's like, oh, yes, look at him. It's usually like, why is he looking at me?
Or does that customer need something?
Did I forget the sauce?
Did I forget the sauce? Is he mad that I forgot
pickles?
The sauce? Also,
he's looking at me knowing I flipped his burger wrong.
Very
I
important.
Sneezed in that one.
Very important. How are you looking at her? Like, are you looking at her with like wide eyes and like a very Jack Nicholson looking grin, and she's like, "Oh God, what's going on in that guy's head?" And you're like, "Ah, oh, she's looking at me for like 2 seconds. Man, this must be it."
I've made it. Yeah, this is my peak. Yeah, and it really how you do that, you have no idea how you look. That's what I've learned about myself. You have no clue how you look in social situations.
Absolutely.
Like, I will stare at myself in the mirror and be like, yeah, Will, you're all right. And then I'll, like, go and get pictures taken of me, and I'm like, you are the biggest doofus the world has seen when I, like, try to just look natural and end up looking like I want to eat the cameraman.
Also, follow up before I finish the question. I know in high school, I always felt, I still do feel like incredibly judged when somebody looks at me. I'm always thinking, what is running through the head without looking at me? If someone looks,
what's wrong with me?
Yeah, if someone looks at me and then looks at me again, I'm thinking, oh, they're definitely talking to their friends about like, oh man, that guy is like so fucking weird or something like that. I don't know, something weird like that. But there was a time where if I wanted to be like, oh, that girl is really cute, and for some reason, if you've never talked to them, a lot of guys would like stare at a girl, and then the second the girl would look back, they'd be like, oh no, man, I've been looking at that girl for like 3 minutes, and she just noticed. Did she notice the whole time? And had she just been like, dude, you gotta stop looking at me now. You're thinking, oh God, I didn't pay attention to class at all. This is bad.
But that's your way in, Zane. You stare at them blankly, and then when they notice and they're like, oh my gosh, what was that guy just doing? You go up to them afterwards and you're like, yo, I just want to let you know, I totally just zoned out, and you happen to be the path of least resistance for my eyeballs.
No, this is fantastic. I used to, in a social studies class, there's a very, very cute girl, and I was thinking, all right, I don't want to look weird, but I hate the fact that I don't get to like look at her cute face. So I like
Wore sunglasses to class.
No, every 10 seconds, I would like stretch or move or something that allowed me to like. I would like look at the teacher and then I'd look over at her, and then like every now and then I would just like keep doing it in like a pace. So it was like oh yeah, because my eyes are just darting around the room.
So you looked like you just had a tick?
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah. And eventually, right when I did it, she looked at me, and I was like, oh my God, that was as perfect timing as it could have been, and now I'm horrified because she saw me just for no reason when looking at the teacher. Look at her the exact moment she looked at me, and I was like, I don't know if that was cute or if that was creepy, and now I'm too afraid to look back. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
That's not as weird as you think.
No,
all you did was look over.
No,
and this is why looking at people is so dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, gotta finish this question before I forget about it. We'll start back up from. I look at her every now and then. She looks at me, and sometimes I look at her. Mm-hmm. When we have finished eating and after putting everything in the trash, I notice her leaning against a column with her arms folded and looking at me. What did that gesture mean? That's the heart of this question.
Folding your arms is a defensive mechanism because you are literally terrified for your life. This woman did not get a job at McDonald's to look for a man. That is the advice you truly need.
I thought this place was called McDonald's. The place where I get my man.
I thought I just walked into a Tinder. What is this?
McDonald's is real life Tinder where it's like fast food, but it's also fast hookups. If you see the arms crossed and me leaning against the pillar, you know I'm down to clown. That's my description.
I get off in 18 hours because my shifts are terrible and my job is hell. Yeah.
Meet me in the parking lot at literally 6 a.m. when I get off.
When you get off? 4 a.m. Meet me there, I guess.
I'll have some free chicken nugs. I'll have an 8-piece, baby, and have some of that good Szechuan sauce that everyone was so hyped about for so long. And you can have that all to yourself. You just got to meet me at 4 a.m. You down? You down?
All right, too sensual. Too sensual. Sorry, bud. You need to not do this. If you're gonna do it. I mean, I don't know. Literally, Will Palumbo has never gone to a bar, like on his own ever once in his life, or like even with friends as just like let's go out. That's never happened to Will.
I get you.
But McDonald's is definitely much less of the place than something like that, I would imagine. So maybe try another place, not McDonald's to the employees.